Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Zartan from G.I. Joe Classified series. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself. Get us going. Okay, Zartan. So I had an idea and I changed my mind because so he's the like the master of disguise type kind of thing, right? Although I remember getting this as a kid, getting the Zartan figure, and it was all about the color change. Like he was one of those special figures that had a special paint that when you took him out in sunlight, his paint would change like to a blue or something like that. It was weird. I don't know why. And that's what he's always been to me. He's been color change man, you know? I don't remember him being like the master of disguise, but apparently that's what it was. Now, granted, I wasn't that into G.I. Joe. I got Snake Eyes and stuff like that, you know, the typical ones. But apparently that's what he was. He was, like you said, the master of disguise type kind of thing. So he apparently comes with, and I'm talking about the new series, he comes with a face change, like a mask that you can put on his face. And so I was going to draw him holding the mask. Well, I'm still going to, but I was going to draw it like hanging, like as if he's holding a rag type kind of thing. And in the other hand, put a knife, but it ended up looking like he skinned someone's face off. And so I decided against it. I said, okay, then we're going with something else. So I'm going to go for more of a holding the face, and hopefully it won't look as gruesome as what I had before. Because it was bad. It was really, I mean, it wasn't bloody or anything, but like I said, it looked like he was holding someone's face. It was crazy. So I changed my mind and switched up the pose. So that's why I sketch things out first. And even before I do this, I sketch it out to make sure that it's in the good position, you know, if there's anything I want to add. But it helps to do stuff like that because, like I said, I wasn't expecting that. And then when I saw how it looked, oof, I'm glad I checked. So, yeah, so let's see, let's raise this one up just a little. I got too much, actually. And give him his little mask holding thing. So it was quite funny. So those are the insights you get whenever you come to the sketch portion, because this is totally for me 100%. So I know not a lot of people are going to be watching this, but for anybody who is, I try to entertain you. I try to give you some sort of, you know, little bit of, well, what do you think of this? And here's a little funny anecdote, there's no T in there, anecdote about what happened to me while I was trying to sketch this. Like I said, just to make you laugh, that's all it really is. Okay, so he's got a couple belts, looks like a, I don't know, alligator belt. Oh, because here's the other crazy thing, he's supposed to be like from the bayou or something like that. So I guess they're making him very, very alligator man, right? Very, yeah, alligator man. I don't know why I'm trying to think of a better word. That's their design. They came up with it. So he's got no shirt. Well, he does. I mean, but he wears like a crop top. You know, I guess because it's hot out in the swamps, in the mean swamps of Louisiana, which is not far from me. I'm in Texas. We go to Louisiana every now and then. We go for the crawfish broils and stuff like that. I've driven to New Orleans. It's fun. It's really awesome, you know. But maybe I'm just not in there enough, but that's kind of like how people think all Texas people ride horses and cows and stuff like that. I guess all people think Louisiana people are swamp people, you know. So that was kind of the whole idea for his troops, his guys. But yeah. So what I was saying before is how I don't read the comic. Apparently in the comic, that's where he's really based from. Yeah, he's got his troops that they're bayou based, and he's like the master of disguise type thing. But that's where that comes from. I know that much at least. Okay, so let me see. How do I get his face in here real fast? And get ready for a new face. Get him ready for a new face after I draw his face. And he does. He's got this silly little like clown makeup paint job. It's not clown makeup, but that's what it makes me think of. So I'll add that with color is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to draw a regular face, and then we'll add his cool guy design and after. Sorry, I can't help but laugh. Cool guy design afterwards, which is, like I said, it's clown makeup. I mean, look, a lot of times when they make this stuff up, I get it. They're trying to come up with cool little things and whatnot, and so they give them designs and all this kind of. It's kind of like with superheroes. It's like, you know, look, nobody's going to be wearing tights and stuff like that in real life. This is just how it was in the comic world, and that's how they made it. And I get it, you know. So sometimes when I see stuff like this, it makes me laugh because, you know, they're trying to make something cool, and yeah, you know, I get it. It's from a long time ago. So I'm still gonna laugh at it, you know. If it's silly, it's like underwear on the outside, you know. I'll laugh at it. So I'm not making fun of it. I'm just appreciating that it was a crazy design, and it times have changed, and so there's no room for taking anything too seriously, you know. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm gonna have his fingers, like he's gonna have his hand like this, basically just holding the mask. So instead of it hanging down like I was talking about before, it's just going to be held up, almost like it's rigid. That's what I'm going for, a rigid mask. And in doing so, the thumb is on the inside, so we'll just do something like this. And let's see, it's kind of average looking face, but it's just got a mustache. What's funny is it pretty much just looks like him without the clown makeup and a mustache or a beard, goatee, whatever this is. So it's kind of funny how it's like, that's your disguise. It's like you're wearing this elaborate costume with your headdress and all that stuff, and you think if you just put on a mask like this, no one's gonna know who you are. Again, the silliness of this stuff was just great. It's great. Okay, so I'm going to start to erase some of these sketch lines because I want my Sharpie to stand out, not my pencil line. And so I'm just going to erase just the light lines, and the confidence lines, as I pressed harder, I got more confident. Those lines will erase a lot. It takes more pressure. So this way with light erasing, I'll erase the sketch lines and just leave myself enough to guide me. So I think that's going to be enough. So there you go. I think that's good. I can see where I'm going to go, and I think it's going to disappear enough. So I say we welcome everybody that skipped. Get going. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but I'm going to get going with the Sharpie pen and just get in there, because there's a lot to do, and we're already behind. So I'm going to draw his eyes. I'm going to start with the top of the lids like this, and then I'm going to draw some retinas, colored part like this. And since it's so tiny, I can't really draw much else. I can barely hit the pupils like that. But that's all I want to do. Okay. Now I don't draw the bottom because it's going to bleed too much. So I'm just going to kind of do something like this, and just kind of imply that the bottom is there. Color's going to take care of the rest, and that's it. I'm not even going to draw eyebrows because he's got all that color, that clown makeup paint that he's got. I'm gonna do that there. So here I'm just gonna draw his nose. Let's go ahead and just draw kind of a very defined nose, and I'll go ahead and give him like the little bulbous tip of the nose, just to kind of define that feature, since I can't go too far, and give him something, basically is what I'm trying to say. So give him a little frowny mouth and little bottom lip like that. And yeah, I want to draw his divot and all that, but I think I'll do that with color, because I think it'll be too big if I do it with a Sharpie. Like too prominent is what I'm trying to say. So he's got that hood on, so I'm gonna draw his chin up here like this, but I'm gonna stop and then come in there and draw the hood so I know where I am, and have a better idea of the start-stop point. Okay, so let's draw the hood. So it's gonna be kind of something like this. Gonna have it hanging down. So now I have my defined edge. Oh, and I'm starting to thicken everything up, because when I switch over to this part, or this Sharpie, you're gonna see a huge difference in line width. So I'm starting to kind of make it look like that, just to, I know it looks weird without eyebrows, but again, once we get that makeup in, it's going to change the whole thing. What was I saying? I'm starting to thicken this up, just to, like I said, make it all look consistent. You'll see how thick that is in a second. You'll see what I'm talking about. You don't have to do this if you're working with pencil. You just, do what makes you happy. Okay, so now that I have a little edge, I can say, well, I can see a little bit of an ear right there. This one I can't, because the mask is hanging over, or the hood is hanging over. We'll say there's his temple, kind of something like that, and that's it. I want to draw the neck and that stuff, but I think I'm going to do that with this. I'm just going to finish up the edges of his hood here, so I can control the line width, because this Sharpie, it's hard to control how thick it is. There's only like one level, loud, and so I want to be able to control it with this Sharpie. And plus, it's going to be a nice contrast of the thick and thin. So here's, I guess that's alligator skin. I was talking about this in the sketch, like his little, bayou days, I guess. But again, if you want to hear what I talked about, you can go back and listen. I won't repeat myself for those of you who did listen, and just keep going. So, like I said, I'm going to thicken these outer edges, and you just do it if you want to, but I'm doing it because I'm working with Sharpie, and I'm making like a nice complementary line. Thick versus thin. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, so I'm switching over to the Sharpie now. I mean, the other Sharpie, and building off of this. So you can see a little bit of his neck. So I'm going to come in here and do this, like that. And he's got a handkerchief. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. Now see how thick that's getting? That's what I'm saying. It's gonna vary wildly, so I wanted to get ready for that. Okay. Let me add some crease lines in his handkerchief here, just to show that it's got folds in it. You know, wrinkles and folds. That's what I like to do. Just to show that there's, you know, a lot of bends in it. You know, makes it come alive. Okay, so he's got armor on in his little crop top there. So let's draw this shoulder that's in front. I like to draw what's in front first. That way, whenever you draw what's behind, there's only so much you have to draw, and plus you don't accidentally draw through what's on top. So I'm going to draw his shoulder pad here. And I'm just I'm going off the toy, so I'm kind of basing it off that design. So I'm going to get as close as I can, but again, I'm going off the toy, and I don't have one. So I'm just going off pictures more than the toy. Man, that's the other thing. I always talk about this when we do the G.I. Joe series. It's so frustrating that they're not available, and I get it. You know, there's COVID and everybody's being safe, and nobody thought there's going to be as many online sales, so I don't think Hasbro was ready for how many sales actually happened, so they're hard to get. So I don't have any of these, but these are coming out like next year. I think this one was slated for like February of next year, so you know, I get that I don't have this one, no big deal, but the other ones I don't have. It's still frustrating. I have a okay, I'm going to do his chest plate, so I can do the arm here too. I've got a Destro, like the Money Commander guy, that version, and that's it. No, I'm sorry, I did find a Cobra Commander. I found one finally. So at least I got that. But that's it. I can't find anybody else. I think you can still order them on Amazon, and this is not a plug. I'm not sponsored by them at all. I'm just talking about what I can find and what's available to me. But yeah, I think you can still get them on Amazon, so I really shouldn't be complaining. I should just get them and say, shut up, old man. You want them, order them. Okay, for his armor, it's very intricate, so I'm going to do just a little bit of lines, and then I'll do more with color. But I can define a few edges here, just to make it come alive. Okay. But again, I'm kind of going by the toys, so you know, hopefully this is right, as right as I can get. Let's see. And I'm trying not to get too crazy with the details, but I want to do some to make it look good. It looks almost like a Batman sign. Let's see. Come down, go up like this. Give his little man boobs and his armor plating. I really should be doing this with color, but I figure, you know, it'd be nice to play around with a little bit of line work here. But also, we're running out of time too, so I don't have time to draw every single little detail. But I like it. That's the problem. It's kind of like when I do hair. It's like I like to draw all that hair, but I shouldn't. I should do it with color and give myself a little bit more freedom, you know. Let's see. I like this center line really thick, really defined. All right. Okay, let's get back to where we were. So now that I have this edge, I can draw his armpit like that, and then his arm, and he's got like a little band on, so I can make sure I put that in there. Something like that. And then draw his bicep, his forearm, down to his elbow, and he's got a, what do you call it, arm protector gauntlet. So, drawing up to the edge like that, drawing the gauntlet up like this, and then drawing this part like that. That's the little where it's connected. And now I can add a little bit of detail, just a little bit. I'm not going to go too crazy with, you know, muscles, but I want to do some. We'll give them a little, you know, muscular detail right there. But they, you know, mostly do that with color, because that's another thing I always talk about is Sharpies. They scream. They're never subtle. So you can never do something nice and little like that, because they really, it stands out, you know. Okay, so let's draw his mask. And so I've got his hand just pretty much like this, just holding it up. We're saying that it's rigid. So it's a rigid mask. So I'm going to draw his fingers like this. And then I'll define it a little bit. So I just basically wanted to do that because there's only so much I can do with this Sharpie because it's so huge. But let's see, how can we define it a little bit like this, like that, and they're gloves, so you know, there's only so much I can really put on there anyway. Let's see, for his armor, we'll do a little something like this, again, just to accent it, and there we go. Color will define most of that. So for his mask, I've got it he's holding it up like it's rigid. So I'm just going to draw the side of a face, basically. So it's going up like this. Here's the chin, to the eye. And then, let's see, I think, yeah, I'm going to have to do that with the small Sharpie. And normally I don't draw the bottoms of the eyes like I talk about, but since these are hollow and it goes over his face, I can go ahead and draw those details. Because it's got to look like a face, and so I kind of have to give him a little bit of detail, right? And I think that's all I'm going to do, because like I said, it's supposed to be a mask and it's just being held up. And if you want to hear a funny story about it, you should go to the now his thumb's on the other side holding it up, that's why you can't see it. You should go to the sketch version portion, because I tell a funny story about him cutting the face off somebody. Okay, so other shoulder armor. I'm bad with words. I'm so bad with words. You got it kind of up like this, raised up just a little bit. But again, it's behind it, so we're only seeing so much of it. Let's see, what do we do there? Cross. There. All right. And this one's holding a gun, so I'm gonna draw there's his shoulder to his bicep like this, and so I'm gonna bring him down underside to his elbow, and again it's kind of over, but this is in front, so I'm gonna draw like that first, across, and we can only see like the back side of it anyway, so I'm not too worried about all that little detail. But I did want to make sure that it's in front of his bicep over here. And then we'll do the armor part. We'll say it's behind this, and like that. Okay. Now, again, there's only so much we can see, so I'm not adding a whole bunch of lines. Alright. This hand is going to be holding a gun, so I've got him just basically doing this, is all you're really going to do. So, here's the thumb. And trigger finger is going to be up here, so his other fingers are wrapped around here. Like that, and like that. And then so the back, the handle of the gun will come down here like this. So it's got like that. and we're gonna make it like a kind of a space gun, space tech, space mech, space tech. I can't remember what I call it anymore, but I say this every single time. It's like, ooh, I came up with a whole wording for it because I want it to be. It's not a space gun. It's not mech, but it is futuristic looking. So I've been calling it something like space mech. I know there's missing a finger, but guess what? It's got to be in the trigger finger. That's why. So anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna make up a little gun, something like this. We're gonna say there is the trigger, so I could do the finger like that. Okay. So I'm gonna make up some weird little something. Like I said, I'm going by the toy, so I'm kind of going by it, but I'm also making it up. So, you know, whatever we can do, it's our own. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to add just a little bit of detail, just to make it look manufactured, because that's kind of the whole idea, right? Someone made this. And again, I'm just kind of making up, you know, what a minor detail might be, just to make something, you know? Alright, cool. Alright, so now I was going to draw the rest of them. And so he's got on 2 belts. We're going to show his abs. He's all looking all pretty with his top, halter top, not halter top, what's it called? A crop top, that's what it is. You can see his muscles. I'm not going to draw them all. Like I said, I don't like to draw a bunch with the Sharpie because I want it to stand out and not look like a hard edge. You know, it's got to be skin, nice and smooth. Okay, so I'm going to draw his belt. We're going to do a belt buckle like this, and I'm just going to kind of make up the rest of it. But he does have a second belt on, so let me start to wrap that one around like this. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't draw through it like that. Okay, so let me draw that belt, and I don't know what that belt is. Again, maybe part of his alligator, bayou, gator skin something. I don't know. I can't tell. From the toy, it just looks like a black ribbed skin like this, or belt like this. So that's what I'm saying. Is like I can't tell what's in there. There's like a little skull in this one. And there we go. Okay, so now I'm basically drawing pants with armor. So he's got a couple of armor plates on his legs. So I know where they're going to go based on the sketch, so that's why I'm just kind of throwing them out there. In this one, we're going to see more of a side view. Something like that. So now I can draw his pants. Something like this, out there like that. This leg is coming down to a knee pad. That, and we're going to say that it's since it's going back behind, it's obviously attached somewhere, so we're going to do that. But now I've got an inside spot. I can come up to his crotch here like that, and because I have his legs spread out, I usually do a lot of creases out like this, so that'll help me define a few of the start-stop points. So again, I can start with his other leg like this. Same thing, come down to a knee pad. Attach it right there. Now I can draw his leg, and he does have some straps holding on these thigh protectors. You gotta be careful of those thighs. You know, your laces and your thighs. You gotta look out for that stuff. Okay, so let me add a little bit of detail in here. Again, it's hard to see what they have. Ooh, there's a plating. Let me do that on the outside. it's just some kind of cool design. Something like that. It's the same thing. It's hard to see. I can follow the rim here and then do kind of like I did over there, I guess. Just a, you know, a little bit of a pattern. So, like I said, I like to add creases and lines when you're stretching your legs out like this, because, like I said, it puts a lot of stress on your clothing. So I also like to do it just to show that it's cloth. You know, it's got bends and folds and creases and all kinds of stuff like that. You know. Usually where there's a bend, where there's a joint, I put a lot of bends in there because it just, like I said, it makes it come alive. Makes it look real. Okay? And there is some kind of pattern on his pants there, but I can't tell. I'll do that with color. For the knee pads, it doesn't look like anything special, so I'm just going to do something like this. It doesn't look too crazy. But we're going to break up the negative space by doing that. I'm not crazy about that one. It's okay though. We're going to keep going. So he's got leg protectors on, so I'm going to do something like this. Something like that, just to show that it's some kind of armor, you know, something around his shins. And let's go ahead and do the boots, and then I'll add all the detail. Okay. So little swamp boots. Something like that. Again, I'll come back and add detail in a second. So we'll do the same thing over here. We're just going to add like an armor. Pants. Now, that's the side you can't see here because here's the front view. So I'm just going to draw some pants like that. Again, let me draw the shoe, and we'll add some detail. Something like that. Alright, so here we go. So, Space Mech Tech. Let's do something for his boots. Again, I'm trying to do it like the toy. I apologize if sometimes it's a little weird, because that's what they made, you know? Alright, just a boot. Something like that. Same thing here. We're just going to do some kind of, like, well, if there's an armor plating, this might be what it looks like. But it might not. Again, when we get the toys, we'll come back and compare and see how they look. For now, it gives us something to draw. Alright. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Zartan from G.I. Joe Classified series. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.